have before.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay.
We disagreed on that. At the end of the day, he's the boss. He's the head coach. I'm the assistant coach.
Right.
I had to make a decision.
Yeah. So, I mean, even, and back then too, obviously publicly, the UFC isn't what it was now, or, not even close, because, you mentioned your first fight. I mean, pretty much the year before that, John McCain came out and called it cockfighting and wanted to ban it across the US.
Yeah.
So you must be going into this thing and, oh, well, okay. Like, it's kind of like, doing something which no one approves of. You walk around the streets or your family saying, oh, hey, by the way, I want to be an MMA fighter. Like, you're out of your mind, right?
Yeah. Yeah. No, it was that was, again, another layer of kind of being scared to make that commitment and make that decision. There's no guarantee you're going to win and stay in the sport. And then, there was a big backlash politically, McCain and others. And thank God they did that, because that forced us to run towards regulation in order to stay viable and stay on the books and keep putting on events. And and look where the sport has come because of that.
Oh, yeah.
Those changes were made, and the rules that are in place and all the things that we've done have come because of that scrutiny, because they kind of pushed us to regulate, to be considered a bona fide real sport. And I think we've come a long way because of that.
So it wasn't a situation where they're like, hey, just ban it, just flatten this thing. It was more of, hey, look, we are supporting you, just regulate it.
They were trying to ban it. They were trying very hard. And let's be honest, Senator McCain had very strong ties through Anheuser-Busch to boxing. And this sport was doing great numbers in pay-per-view. So they felt a little threatened by the potential of this new pay-per-view sport that was coming online. So that was his motivation for speaking out against the sport. It wasn't that he was that worried about my health and well-being. It was more that, he knew where his bread was buttered. And I think I'll be the first to admit that old version of the sport where there were very few rules and there weren't weight classes and it was hard to score and there were limited, the time limits were upwards of 20 plus minutes in 16-man tournaments where you're fighting 3 times in a night. It's a lot to ask of any athlete. And so I think running towards regulation was the right thing, both for the athletes that are involved and for the longevity of a bona fide